Good evening and welcome to episode 46 of season 9 of Factory Town Pipe Mania, where we built this last time and we were working on trying to get this working at 1 a second, and I wasn't too sure about it. I wasn't too sure whether we should do that or whether we should just do 10 builds instead, or whether we should do whatever we're doing with it. It's purely just to make money for us. And 10 a second would be 1,000 coins a second, which would be nice. I'm not sure how many we actually will be losing, because obviously the expenses are turned off right now because we don't have any coins. But I did ask at the end of the last episode whether we should instead go with building 10 of these rather than building one and trying to figure it out, because it's going to be a lot of effort. It's going to be a lot of effort to do it because it's going to need a lot behind it. For doing things and getting things, and it's just going to be very awkward. So I think we're going to go the route. I did ask, and Clay's the only one who replied to that so far. Thank you very much, Claybone, saying that I should do 10. So I agree with that. I agree. We're going to go with 10 kitchens instead. But what I think I'm going to do first is I'm going to figure out what it takes to build one and the infrastructure behind it, and then figure out how much farms can do. With, I mean, kind of limiting them to only being like they can harvest one product a second. So this could only have 2 workers in it to harvest 1 a second, and this could have 4 workers in it harvesting 1 a second. And kind of limit it to the farms and find out how many kitchens can a sugar farm support, that sort of thing. So we'll try that. We'll try that. So let's give this a go up here, and I'm gonna go sort of lengthways here. I'll flatten out some more terrain. So we can explore this and see how we go. So if we put that there, that is making berry cake, and it requires 1 cake every 10 seconds. So let's get another kitchen and let's put that straight behind it, and this is going to be cake. Boom, there you go. You're making cake, so that is making 1 cake in 10 seconds. You need 1 cake in 10 seconds. That's a 1-to-1 ratio, nice and easy. The next thing you need is apple jam, which is another kitchen. Let's put another kitchen down and make apple jam here. Another apple pie. We don't want no warm apple pie here. We want apple jam. There we go. And you make 1 apple jam in 5 seconds, and this requires 2 apple jam. So that is 1-to-1 again. Awesome. Okay. The next thing is sugar, which is a sugar field, which requires 2 every 10 seconds. So let's get a farm. Put them down here. You are sugar. I've control click, put the sugar in there. And you need to be doing 2 every 10 seconds, which is 1 every 5 seconds, which is obviously 1 every 5 seconds, which is, I mean, if we set this to 4 workers, that's producing enough sugar to support that. Yeah, 2 every 10 seconds. And that's producing, that's just 1 every 5 seconds, that's producing 1 every 4. So it's slightly faster. We could drop it down to probably 3 workers, but leave it at 4, and that's the best we can do, so that's fine. Workers are efficient in farms and foresters and things like that. They give you a 100% bonus per worker. So it's much better. It's not like here where if you add a worker to it, it only gives you 0.5. So yeah, that's worth doing, that's fine. So that covers sugar, then we need berries. And we need 4 berries every 10 seconds. So let's copy a berry thing here. And put that, I'm just going to put it directly behind it right now. There's berries. And 4 every 10 seconds is 10 divided by 4. 1 every 0.25 seconds. So if we did that, that's 1 a second. And that's going to be, in fact, if we did that, that's 1 every 2 seconds. We need 1 every 2.5 seconds. So... Yeah, 10 divided by 4. We need 4 every 10 seconds, so we need 1 every, one every 2.5 seconds, and you produce 1 every 2 seconds. So you're already running at fast enough speed, so that's fine. That's fine. Is that right there? So 1 every 5 seconds, isn't it? No, that's 1 every 5 seconds, not 5 every. That's 1 every 5 seconds. So you could very much go down to that, and you produce one every 4 seconds. So you are producing more as well. So even at one worker, you are fine. Okay, got my numbers wrong there. That's fine. That's everything for that one here. Awesome. So now what do we need for the next farm? Well, we need flour, which requires a food mill. Move this up here. Move this up here. So food mill. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. What I should do really is put these up here and then. Yeah, everything this needs goes along, everything that needs goes along. But we'll do it this way. It's fun. So you need flour, and you need 4 every 10 seconds, which is 1 every 0.25 or 1 every 2.5 seconds. Now you produce flour at the rate of 1 every 4 seconds, which is not good enough. Not good enough. We need to boost you or put a second one in. So we're going to need 2 of these, like that. Okay, in order to produce, so 1 every 4 seconds, we're now producing 2 every 4 seconds, which is 1 every 2, and you need 4 every 10, which is 1 every 0.25, and you're producing 1 every 2. So that's fast enough there. Okay, the next one is sugar. So you need, again, the same as the previous one. So this will deal with that if we double its speed, which I don't mind doing for farms. As I said, farms are bonus workers, so we can cover the sugar requirements for this one, because it's the same as this one here. So 1 every 2.5 seconds. You require 1 every 5 seconds, and you're going to require 1 every 5 seconds. That's 2 every 5 seconds. You're producing 1 every 4. Now you're producing 2 every 4, which is 1 every 2, which is fast enough. There you go. Sorted. Butter. Butter is another one. Let's put that back here. Put on butter. Let's add this here. Where's butter? Butter is here. I'm going to get myself very confused very quickly here, because I'm not going to remember what goes to what and where. So yeah. Okay, so butter, you require 1 every 10 seconds. You produce 1 every 5 seconds, so that's good. But you would require milk, which again is something else we've got to do here. This is the longest production chain in the game. It requires a lot of different things, so it's going to be very long. And remember, farms take up this much space, so yeah, it's going to be a lot. Okay, but eggs. Eggs are made in a pasture. Put the pasture down. Move it back by 1. Not that this is actually even right, because there's a double cap here, but whatever. Eggs. Okay, you require 2 eggs every 10, so 1 every 5 seconds. You produce 1 every 3 seconds, so you are fast enough. That's fine. Again, pastures are something that you can't add workers to, but you can upgrade them for basically free. It gives you free speed to them, so we can opt in to choose that. Won't cost the other coins for making the stuff from. So that's the problem with this one here. Jumping back a little bit, this would use 4.5 coins a second, but produce 100. But then everything behind it would have to be sped up as well. The farms are fine, because we don't need to add yellow coins to them. We can get away with workers for that. But when it comes to like the food mills, and it comes to other kitchens and pastures and things like that, we would end up probably using possibly 50 coins a second, which does mean we got a 50 coin a second boost from it, but kind of defeats the object. If we do it this way, we're going to get 1,000 coins a second without spending any, in theory. There may be somewhere we tweak it a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so that's eggs. Eggs are good. And the fuel is just fuel. We just coal. That's going to be more fuel. Fuel can come in wherever. We can do magic for it or whatever. Next one. Apples. You want 4 apples every 5 seconds. That's almost 1 a second. Forester. I really should have done this differently so I know what goes where. I am going to kind of... No, we're not. Yeah, I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to put you and you up there. So you belong to this one. Sugar is sugar. We know sugar. Butter belongs to this one, and eggs belong to this one as well. Okay. So Forester belongs to this one because of apples. Okay, really sugar should go. Yeah, so you require cake, jam, sugar and berries. This one here, and then we'll go up for each one to make sense. And then, but then this might need something, and this might. This is going to become a complicated mess very, very quickly. Probably should space it out better than this, but we'll see. We'll see. So right, we're here, aren't we? So apples. So you need 4 apples. So one apple a second. And again, I'm fine with adding workers to this because it won't be a problem. So let's double click this. Apples. Put on. You produce an apple every 2 seconds, and we need 1 a second. So we can just double the workers in this, and I'm fine with that. That's fine. Increasing the workers in foresters is fine. It's 100%. Not costing any coins. You need sugar as well. So maybe we'll tap into the same sugar farm. You need 1 every 5 seconds. You're currently producing... right, so we need 1 every 5, 2 every 5, 3 every 5. You're currently producing 1... Right, if we did that, you're producing 1 every 4. That covers it all. Okay, so that's where it was before. Right, we've gone back around full circle. And you require fuel. Fuel comes from river. You don't require anything. You don't require anything. So that's good. Okay, so next one's up. Let's see here. Let's move this back a bit here. So, bump it on. Right, because then I can build back here. So, you require grain. So, farm. What you doing? Grain. Okay. You require 3 every 4 seconds, which is basically 1 a second. I'm rounding that. 3 every 4 is basically 1 a second, and it requires it twice. So in order to get grain going at 1 a second, we would have to double this, and that's 1 grain every second that you're harvesting. Now I don't want to break that. I don't want to go above 1 every second. I don't want to make this any faster. We could add more to it. That's fine, but you've got to remember the crops have to have time to grow. So yes, you can throw workers into them and make it fantastic, but if you're not letting the crops grow in time, it all comes to a halt. So if I cap myself at 1 per second, so this is 2 work units, so we can have 2 workers in here, that's it. It could probably go faster than that. The crops can probably grow quicker than that. Plus we have grain here anyway, so we can tap into these. These aren't being used right now, although they do need to be because this is here. Like here, for instance, we have, see this has got 10 workers, 2 yellow coin boosters, it's 24 a second, and you can see it's not giving time for the crops to grow. The crops are, like, coming out of that, 81%, 95% grown. The outside ones are done, but it will quite often run out of crops to harvest. So that's why you need to build a second farm for it. So boosting doesn't always work. It doesn't work. Building more is better than boosting, unless you're striking for space. And we're on an infinite map. We're not striking for space. So the only thing you have to worry about is the game slowing down. So yeah. So basically, we'll put that one there, and then we'll copy it and put that one there. So we need 2 of them. That's fine. You don't require any inputs at all. You can speed up growth with fertilizer. Fertilizer will, if I click on a crop here and show the affinities here, fertilizer will increase. It doesn't increase the crop growth rate, doesn't grow any faster, but it means it will get 50% more crop from it. So when it grows, instead of it having 20 yield, it would have 30 because it has plus 50% to it. Which means that the farm can chop down 30 grain before it stops to grow again. Which is good. I don't tend to put any fields underneath it, and I don't water or fertilise them until they're at 100% affinity, which they're at now. See, this is pair affinity, so that's no good. Once you get to 100% affinity, you can put them down to increase the yield, because affinity only changes upon crop growth. The second it grows from growing to a grown state, even, it increases the affinity to it. So it only works if you increase the affinity. That's why these are still stuck at 99%, because they've grown once and stopped. It's taken it down by 1%. This crop needs to grow an additional 150 times, because it takes 1% off of affinity when it grows, and then when it's starting to build its own affinity at wheat, which it will do, it will change the ground from pear to wheat. It increases it by 2% every go. So this crop needs to be harvested 150 times before it becomes 100% affinity wheat. And if you've increased how many crops are in it, that means it will be harvested less because there's more to grab. So you want as few as possible and harvest like mad, and then throw your farms in, your field tiles in afterwards. But anyway, this is good. Blah, blah, blah. Right, so this is good, and then you want to be basically 2 there, and then that covers that, doesn't it? One every second. 1 every second. That's good enough. You are the complicated part. Milk. Oh, milk. Anyone who's been around since I think about season 4 will know how much I hate doing milk because it just takes forever. Oh, so much milk. You need 2 milk every 5 seconds. 1 every 2.5 seconds. To get milk requires a pasture. Okay, let's get a pasture. Put a pasture down here. And this requires milk. But the milk requires animal feed and water. And the animal feed requires a food mill. And the food mill requires a farm. But you are also the same. You require animal feed. So we need to get that going anyway. So we need to get another food mill going. We'll put that here. And maybe this food mill could run both. I don't know. Probably not. 1 every 3 seconds. Animal feed can be made from grain, carrots, or potatoes. It doesn't matter which. They're all exactly the same. I'm pretty sure grain is the best. And the reason for that is that grain takes 2 work units to harvest. Carrots and potatoes take 3. So they're slower. I'm not sure of the yield on the different one. So let's have a quick look at that. Plant grain. Somewhere where there isn't any affinity. We're not going to do any affinity bonus. So plant grain, plant carrot, plant potato. So we've got all 3 crops. So this gives 10 yield. This gives 4 yield. And this gives 4 yield. So grain gives you a better yield. These have all got wood affinity underneath them, so it doesn't really matter. They all give the same yield. So when they get 100% yield, this would go up to 8. Because the terrain type would be, well, it's 4 times. 4 times the terrain. The affinity is 4 times. Is that correct? What's this one? Which one is? Yeah, default is 10. The affinity at 100% is times 2, so you get 20. Yeah, affinity is times 2. So your affinity is times 4. So you go 4, 8, 12, 16, and you're times 4. So they get 16. So it's still less than the grain in one tile. So you get more for grain. So grain is just the better way to go. I genuinely feel grain is just the better way to go. So, okay. So you need 2 grain every 2 seconds to produce 1 animal feed. 1 every 2 seconds. You need 1 every 3 seconds, and you need 2 every 2 seconds. So if you need 1 a second, which means you need 2 of those. You need 2 of those. Because it takes 2 seconds to produce 1. We don't want to boost it because this only gets 0.5, so we're not boosting it. Which means you want 2 every 2 seconds, which is 1 a second. That produces 1 every 2. That produces 1 every 2. So that's 1 a second. So that's 1 a second. So that's it. You need 2 of those, which in turn needs its own fields. But doing grain. We know grain's the best one we want for this. And you require 2. You require, well, one a second. You require 1 a second. So that's 3 a second. And we can only do 1 every second. So if you're doing 1 a second, and this requires 1 a second, 1 a second, 1 a second, that means we need 3 farms. 1 for there, 1 for there, and 1 for here. See what I mean by milk? Milk is bad. Milk needs this much to keep up. Okay. Yeah, you could increase the workers in this and get it, but milk is really greedy. Really, really greedy. The only advantage of doing the pastures is they do produce fertilizer, so you can boost the farms at a later date if you want to. Tap into that cycle. And you require this here, but job done. There we go. Okay. And you require sugar. Sugar is just generic. That's fine. Sugar will go to every place it goes. So this is what we need. This is what we need to run this 1 kitchen producing berry cake. One kitchen produces better. This, and I've taken 20 minutes to explain this, and I do apologise for doing an episode basically of explaining everything, but just showing you the actual requirements for berry cake is a lot. I do love it. I do love that it's a very complicated mess to do, and the space requirements for it is a lot as well, because each one of these farms obviously needs this much space around here. So you can see here, this much space. Basically, it can have slightly less. Obviously, you don't have to have that, but for optimal this, because this much space. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 farms. 7 farms of this space. Of how big are they? They are 11 by 11. So that's 77 by 77 tiles required just for farms to produce one berry cake every 10 seconds. And we want to build 10 of these. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. I think that's everything, isn't it? Yes. Yep. Oh, some of these need water as well. I haven't included water. Water's easy. Water you can get from wells. That's not a problem. In fact, only you need water. Water and fuel is required as well. Fuel can be pumped in from coal. That's external, and water can just be some wells, whatever. So yeah, so that's that. But that is, considering how much that was going to need to run this one at 10 speed, we would have needed massive amounts of space. This is just producing the sugar and berries, not the jam or cake. The cake requires all of this. This setup, this here, this lump in here is cake. And cake sells for 50 coins. And then all you have to do is add a bit of jam, sugar and berries to it, and you get 100 coins. So this tiny bit on the end here is yeah. Okay, so we're going to remove this. We're going to destroy this here and rebuild this in here. Yes, it's a bit of a shame that I've done these all these farms in here, but we can replace them. It's going to cost us lots of coins. I need to run the game for a bit to get some coins going. So yeah, and we're going to have to use all this green area for fields to do it, and then probably buy these tiles up here. I'm going to do that now whilst we've got some yellow coins. Fatten this down up here as well, and put our ones up here. Kind of want to keep it in a line if possible, so it's modular, so I can just copy and paste it. That would be nice if we can squeeze it in. Make it maybe 2 farms wide, perhaps. I don't know. But if it's 2 farms wide, this is already 2 farms wide. We could just change up the farms here. Let's remove this and get rid of all these here. Boop. Boop. And if I want to keep it 2 tiles wide, I don't want to be doing berries back here. So we're gonna change up some of these things here. In fact, yeah, we're just gonna go. Come on. Oof. Oh, it doesn't get rid of. Oh my days. How much? It doesn't cost anything to remove them? Oh, okay. Okay, so it only costs money to remove trees. Oh, that's okay. That's not so bad. Right, okay. I should have left 1 berry in there. Whatever. We can replant the berries. It's not a problem. Let's go back here and let's plant this out here. So, right. Hold on. We want to start from here. So we have 3 grain farms that are required. 5 grain farms that are required. This one needs to have 2 workers in it. This one needs to have 2 workers in it. Or does it? Does it need 2 workers in it? Hold on. What does it need? Requires 1 a second. To get 1 a second, we need 2 workers. Yeah. So we have 5 grain farms that are required. Wow. Going into these 3 making animal feed, 2 making flour. 1, 2. Do I want to leave space in between them? Probably do want to leave some space in between them, actually. 3, 4, 5. okay. Because I want to have, obviously, stuff coming up from these to here. I would kind of like all 5 farms connected together. So that, you know, if one place isn't... You know, so it goes into a barn, and then that barn goes off into all of these. Doing their thing. So... and then like the animal feed all goes into another barn. So we're at every point we are condensing the stuff down so it's being evenly spread. So if one farm lacks because of some reason, another one could pick up the slack from it a little bit for growth reasons. Whatever, it should be fine. Everything should be balanced. But you know, I'd rather do it that way. Good lord, I don't even know whether this is this. No, do you know what? We're not doing it this way. We're not doing it this way. We're going to do it this way instead. So shoot over there. Put on. You would go there, and then you would go on the end, but you can't go on the end because you can't have crops there because it's not green enough. So that's what I was hoping. I'd do that and then put the stuff next to it, and then do it again, do it again, do it again. But we might have to go too wide. How many farms have we got in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7, an odd number, which would be awkward. I'm going to have to figure out how to do this. I'm going to have to figure out the layout of this and play with some things to try and figure out what I want to do. Probably flatten down some land back here again. Maybe move some stuff down a little bit here because we don't need to do this path here. Technically, we can come in closer to that. These are going to be attached to this here, so we've got to ignore them. Going to be past this line here, so we could probably come down a little bit, get the farm in the end, and then put all the processing in front of it, and then it would be 2 farm tiles wide technically. But it's just this five farms, 5 farms of grain, just for animal feed and flour. So, but anyway, we're going to leave this one here. And we're going to come back next time, and we will carry on from there. I'm going to figure out how to lay this out, and we'll take it from there. And that's going to be 1 kitchen. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope to see you again next time. Till then, as always, have fun.